Republican Roy Moore, his Senate bid stung by allegations of sexual misconduct, is seeking to steer the Alabama race to hot-button social issues highlighted by his opposition to abortion. Newly back on the campaign trail since the uproar the accusations caused, Moore has used campaign stops to rally his evangelical base on social issues, including abortion, juxtaposing his desire to one day outlaw it altogether against Democratic rival Doug Jones' support of abortion rights. In a Wednesday night speech at Magnolia Spring Baptist Church in South Alabama, Moore drew loud applause when he said he would work to defund Planned Parenthood and reverse the 1973 U.S. Supreme Court decision that legalized abortion. On abortion, I would not fund Planned Parenthood. I work to overturn Roe v. Wade because I believe it is an unconstitutional decision, Moore said. Moore's campaign even suggested on social media that Jones, if elected, would seek to put another pro-abortion justice on the Supreme Court. Number abortion Jones will give us another number pro-choice, pro-abortion number Ruth Bader Ginsburg-style judge on SCOTUS. We can't let that happen, Moore's campaign tweeted Tuesday. Democrats often face long odds in this conservative southern state where opposition to abortion cuts across socioeconomic, gender and racial lines. The state's voters next year will decide on a proposal that would add anti-abortion language to the Alabama Constitution. The failed effort by conservative activists to plant a false story about Senate candidate Roy Moore in the Washington Post was part of a months-long campaign to infiltrate the Post and other media outlets in Washington and New York, according to interviews, text messages, and social media posts. The failed effort by conservative activists to plant a false story about Senate candidate Roy Moore in the Washington Post was part of a months-long campaign to infiltrate the Post and other media outlets in Washington and New York, according to interviews, text messages, and social media posts. Jones has said he is pro-abortion rights. He supports keeping the law as it is. I believe the decision she makes should be hers, that she can make alone or in consultation with her family, her physician, her faith. That's what I think. I don't think I should be making that decision for her. I doggone don't believe Roy Moore should be making that decision for her, Jones said. Moore, who has long had backing from a wide swath of the state's evangelical voters, built a following over his religious-themed political stances. Those have included opposition to same-sex marriage, support for displaying the Ten Commandments in public, and his belief that the U.S. Constitution is founded on God. Moore's campaign has been wounded by accusations of sexual misconduct, decades ago, made by women who were then teenagers. His recent campaign stops have aimed at both defending himself against the allegations and rallying his base ahead of the December 12 election. I do not know any of these women. I did not date any of these women. I did not engage in any sexual misconduct with anyone, Moore said. Moore's South Alabama stop was momentarily interrupted by a heckler who shouted at him why the women who accused him would be lying.